D-Lo 404 Boxing. All right, y'all. So by now we all have heard Tank Davis has come out and said that he's fighting on January the 7th. Also saying that his deal with Ryan Garcia is a done deal. A lot of people are reporting that. A lot of publications are putting out there that, the fight's supposedly done. But been hearing that both guys are going to have a tune-up. Not just Tank fighting on the 7th of January, but Ryan Garcia will also get a fight in prior to their fight. And I'll come back to their fight probably on another video, what I'm hearing about when they will potentially fight. But what I did want to drop is the name of the opponent that I was given that Tank is very likely to fight next. And that's Hector Luis Garcia. That name doesn't sound familiar to a lot of y'all, or if it does sound familiar, that's the guy who Chris Colbert last fought. Chris Colbert, phenom, up-and-coming fighter who was, I think he was like WBA regular champion, and a guy who was, screaming out names of the who's who in the sport, and a guy that was making noise. At the time he fought Hector Luis Garcia himself, he stood at 16-0 with 6 KOs, but, definitely a guy who was on the rise. And Hector Luis Garcia came into that fight at the time he was 14-0. So having added Chris Colbert as a victim and then going on to fight Roger Gutierrez and picking up the WBA title, Hector Luis Garcia now has a record sitting at 16-0, got 10 KOs, and but that championship was at 130. So if he fights Tank, he'll be moving up to 135. Of course, Tank's not going to drop down to 130 for him. So of course that's I guess you got to say that's advantage to Tank. You'll have a man coming up fighting in the division that, coming up one more division to fight you. So that gives you, you already got a stronghold and a good footing in that division, known as one of the best in the division. So, like I said, if the fight happens, sometimes these names get to circulating around and then it doesn't end up ringing true. But, that doesn't mean that, somebody was just putting out, throwing stuff out there. Like I said, if I didn't have it from somebody who I hold in high esteem in terms of credibility, I wouldn't put it out. But just in case it's not, I'll stand in front of the bullet. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to put his name out there just in case, because I don't want to, I don't want somebody saying, oh, don't believe what he say, blah, 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 blah. I'll take the brunt of that because I'm the one putting it out there. So, like I said, Hector Luis Garcia, definitely not a pushover. This is a guy Tank's fighting in a so-called tune-up for Ryan Garcia. I think it's a legit fight. It does stay in line with Tank fighting, certain type of guys, staying away from, other American fighters. And so he's still, what I'm saying? But I like Hector Luis Garcia. I think he's a good fighter. He's out of the Dominican Republic. Definitely a guy that there's a lot of rumors and talk about, people he's, completely outclassed in the gym and things like that. And then you look at his fights and you see how he conducts himself, composes himself. Definitely not a guy afraid of the moment. He definitely ruined the party for Chris Colbert. So I don't think the moment will be too big for him against Tank Davis. It's just whether or not he could be defensively responsible enough to stay away from Tank's bombs and at the same time get his work off. I think he'd be up for the task. I actually think if this guy is the guy Tank's fighting as a tune-up, then Tank's going to, he's probably going to be in pretty tough. But we'll see. It may not, like I said, it may not happen, but that's the name I've been given, so I'm just going to put it out there. I'm going to bring it to y'all just like it was given to me. But that's all I got on it. D-Lo 404 Boxing. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm out. Peace.